Hi, I'm Andrew, an entrepreneur and a computer science student,
Hi, I'm Raveen, a psychology major student.
and you're now listening to the Ink Thoughts podcast, where we ponder and talk about incongruous thoughts ranging from our daily life to the human mind. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Ink Thoughts podcast. And yes, this is actually quite a quick episode because we just recorded the previous episode in I think 2-3 hours ago. Yeah, so I believe nothing much must have happened between the few hours that we've gone through. Is there any?
No, just resting.
All right. Okay. So, yeah, I think it will be quite a challenge for us, but we'll see how we'll find a way just to finish this whole episode without 10 minutes of blabbering about what actually happened within our lives. So yes, today we're actually talking about this topic, which I guess we have kind of discussed for quite some time. So basically, should we actually allow our children to pay for their own university education? Yes. So this topic actually came up a long time ago, but mainly because I generally feel that us as students, as Asian students, who our education fees are pretty much, most of us, are pretty much sponsored by our parents. So I don't know. This education thing is kind of built by our parents as a thing that they ask us to do. It's not exactly what we want to do. Even if you try to say that you don't really want to proceed with any form of education, they will try to convince you, and then so that they just think that, if you complete any any form of education, including university education, you at least have a guarantee in life, something like that. So whereas in the Western culture, it's a bit different. Usually education is paid all the way until you're 18, and university education is kind of up to your choice. That's why they have this popular thing called student loans, where students only take it if they want to go to university. However, this kind of sprout a new thing whereby I think that most Asian students wouldn't enjoy and appreciate university life, because it's like something that their parents pay for, and then sometimes even the course of choice is made by the parents. So sometimes they're just doing it for the sake of doing it, instead of them actually interested in this course and wanting to pursue it. So yes, what do you think of this, Vereen?
Okay, first of all, I think I kind of can see from the perspective of the Asian parents wanting their children to go through all the education and all, because in the past they've gone through a lot of difficult time, and they believe that without education the children will be suffering the same thing as them. So I think that's the reason that no matter how, the parents want to ensure that their children go through the university at least. Right.
Yeah. I can get that. It's true. Most Asian countries are still quite young. That's why most kind of gone through that period of time where education, where taking education is kind of a luxurious thing instead of a normal thing. So therefore, getting through university kind of seems to just gives you a high chance of doing anything, because back then, definitely, like all those successful people does have some form of education. But then the thing is, I don't know, maybe I'm not sure maybe it's just us that require it. Maybe it just requires us to start this mindset change, or do you think it's actually their fault for not thinking, trying out a new way or something? Because I just find that, yeah, it's it's pretty much obvious that it's just it wouldn't make sense to do this, but then people still do it to like just keep forcing children to study and all that instead of listening and all this. What do you think?
I think
If you understand what I say.
Yeah, I think I understand from where you're coming, and I think yes. If you really think that there's something that is not the right way, I guess we have to start changing our mindset, or else everything will still follow the same as what have been done by our parents' generation. Mm-hmm. And then speaking of paying for the education, yeah, definitely when you're given all the opportunities and chances, and you don't really need to think about it, it's kind of easy for the children to forget how to appreciate what they were given. And but then I do have another idea that maybe because I don't know how much does let's say the US education tuition fee for their own citizen actually. Do you know?
That one I'm actually not very sure, but what we can do is we can do a simple search right here. Give me a second. Average tuition fees US. All right, let's try that. Okay, that's quite cool. Okay, so over here from Times Higher Education, a typical 4-year public college charge in-state students $10,230 per year, while out-of-state students were charged $26,290 per year. So I assume definitely I'm not sure what exactly the out of state means. Does it mean that, let's say, if you're from a particular state in US and then you choose to study in another state, they'll charge that, or it's just for international students? But for international students, I guess we are at least charged like 26,000 something. But of course, there are private non-profit college as well, which will charge $35,000 on average, which I think, okay, if we do look at 35,000 for private college, I think that price is basically the price of what they charge in Malaysia in terms of private college.
Yeah.
On a dollar to dollar basis without without any form of conversion. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's say in Malaysia, for education loan, it seems like not the best way that a student can get to support their own study, and I believe that's also why the Asian parents prefer sponsoring the children, because it doesn't make sense for them to let's say spend their time, let's say 10 years, to earn enough to support themselves to go to college.
I mean, to be honest, student loans in US isn't any better as well. It's actually quite terrible. It's just that it's terrible. Like they at least from what I know, not that I've spent a lot of time searching in it, but because it's easily popularized by movies, dramas, and everything, because it's a very normal thing for them to do that. So they actually spend 10-20 years after their studies just trying to pay off their student loans. But the main reason why it's so rare in Malaysia, I believe it's a supply and demand thing, where US just have a lot of, just has high demand with student loans and all this. I personally don't think it's a wise or not wise thing. It's just that, yeah, it is more of a cultural thing, I believe. Yeah.
Okay, I get you. Okay. Yeah, and also the mindset thing, because I'm not sure, but I think quite a number of parents must have said something like, if you don't start your study now, later you'll be too old to be able to compete with the others in your career or something like this.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Um, I don't know. I mean, I believe the reason that many people neglect while thinking about this studying thing is that many parents, more specifically, is that they kind of just think of this university degree thing as a how do I say this? As a special pill that just kind of magically solves everything. Instead, they for some reason just think that, oh no, you just need a degree and then yeah, like things will be sorted out, something like that. But like how they like what they said, you be more competitive and all that. But they fail to realize that being competitive is no longer about that piece of paper anymore, because there are certainly many ways that you can be a lot more competitive. And I mean, okay, maybe back then it's I guess they are thinking in a perspective whereby, oh, if you are richer, definitely, like in a business environment, you are slightly more competitive, you have more of an unfair advantage. But looking at it right now, perhaps it is better that you have a degree, but then I mean, it's a very normal thing that everyone has a degree. And if your children never actually figured out, I guess the better reason is how was the degree produced, and what do you get out of that degree, instead of how people look at your degree. Because the thing is, many people can just go through college and then just get a piece of degree paper, which many employers want to see. But then the bigger meaning is, what do those individuals represent behind those degree? Like, what do you think of the degree? What have you done anything about your degree? Like, so what was the 3 years? How did you spend the 3 years while making that degree? I feel like that is a lot more important that many parents neglect. Which I wouldn't say that it's my parents' fault that I don't really enjoy what I study, but I think it's more of the collective mindset by the Asian society, where we kind of place a lot more, how do I say this? A lot of things that are which are not within our control in front of us, instead of thinking, what do we actually enjoy? We care more about how other people looks, and that's why it happens like, I want to get more money, I want to do a more prestigious job, I want to graduate from a better university that's ranked high, that's more popular, that more people know about. I mean, I believe as Asian, we care more about all this kind of stuff instead of what is actually within our hearts. Like, so what can you explain about your degree? How can you explain about this course that you're doing? What can you explain about the job that you want to do? Something like that. I think that way, yeah.
Yeah, true. I agree what you're saying. And also, it just reminds me of something. I believe until today, there's quite a lot. I'm not sure. Okay, I can't generalize the Asian parents, but at least I can say Malaysian parents. I believe still many of them, when it comes to, like, let's say in university study, if you can't juggle both your study and make extracurricular activities that you are participating in, the first thing they'll say is like, why are you doing this? You should be studying. I pay for you so much that you should do this instead of anything else. But they forget that today, like, you just randomly throw a stone towards anyone in the street, and probably that the person might have a degree as well.
Yeah. That's actually true.
Yeah, but then they forget that actually you still need a lot of other important skills to make you competitive enough to survive in the career or something. Yeah, and also another thing is that I'm not sure. I think quite a number of Malaysian university. I'm not saying just those public one, including some private one. Yeah, they are asking the student to join a number of extracurricular activities, but that is by force. Yeah, they don't really have the choice to choose what they want to do, and yeah, they just do because they need the points. Then I feel like
Yeah. Okay.
there's no point doing that if the person is not enjoying, and when you're not enjoying that, how would you build up your skill through that? You're just wasting your time, wasting the student's time.
Yeah. I totally agree. I guess. Okay. Yeah. Maybe. It's better for me to talk more from the Malaysian perspective as well, whereby I feel like the way we were grown up and all this, we care more about the societal perspective. That's why we care more about points. We care about instead of actually doing what we enjoy and all this. Like, yeah, perhaps that's. I mean, I do. Perhaps back then when I was young, I would look at those people and say that, yeah, why are you doing what you enjoy? But it's actually today that I realized that I envy them, and then they actually made the right choice, because I feel like I'll say that probably I'm more mature for thinking in such way whereby, it's better to do it for those points. But then today, I guess I kind of define mature as the wrong reason. I define mature with the wrong reason, because I mean, there's really no point in doing that and then not actually learning what you actually learn. Like, I feel like even today in university, I see that quite a few Malaysian students, when they are choosing courses and credit, they rather choose more course. They rather choose more course with the amounts of credit that they have. I even had this thought before. Last time I had this idea whereby, like, can I just choose an additional course, even though I don't need that credit, just, why not? Because I can. But then I never really think whether I like that course. And some of my friends, they literally just try to fill up as many courses as possible with the amount of credit that they have, just because it's worth it. Like, I can learn 2 courses because of, like, instead, why not? Why not I want to do that? I mean, some people, if for some reason you just enjoy learning different stuff which you don't really understand, I guess that's okay. But I don't know. I mean, if you don't like it, I don't think that's an actual reason of taking it. Yeah.
Yeah, this just reminded me about one thing. I think when I was, because most of the time the modules are fixed, just that there's just maybe 10 or 20 credits that are additional for you to choose something else that you want to do. During my degree time, that time I actually had the thought of, should I choose something that is easy to score, or should I choose something that I'm really interested in? It took me a while to realize that, okay, what's the point that I do something that is easy to score, but in the end, it's not something I'm interested in, and I don't think it is helpful for me as well in terms of, like, knowledge or things that I want to do in the future.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that in the end, I chose something that I really want to learn about.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, even but to me, I kind of have a different perspective this year. But I did choose a module that I kind of like earlier this year. Just that right now, if I can do it all over again, because I kind of realized that I mean, at this point in time, I just want to get through university, because I don't really care about this degree. I care more about, staying here in the UK, and then I perfectly know that I wouldn't really want to do the I probably won't even pursue a job in computer science, something like this. That's why I would actually choose things that are easier to score, just for the sake of, like, just getting over them. Because but I mean, I kind of felt bad because of the mindset that I have right now, and this probably came all the way earlier from how the societal perspective of, I mean, I kind of just built my personality based on the Malaysian societal mindset, something like that. Yeah, and I chose this course and something like this. So that is basically the reason why I thought of this. Like, I don't know. I mean, the reason I actually thought of failing this entire degree, because why not? I mean, I can force myself to do it, but if there is no reason for me to do it, why should I do it? Not it's you can't do everything in the world, and not everything in this world is important. And sometimes it's okay to fail, and that's what I want to teach my child. If like one of the video that I posted today, stress, I talk about how to handle stress. Actually, one of the ways is to actually give up, because some things you if you recognize that thing is not worthy enough for your time, you just don't take it that important. Maybe it's important to give up, and that's what I think of today as well. Like, if I have the choice, I would give up. But the reason I wouldn't give up is because I've spent my parents' money and I don't want to waste it. So I'm thinking, like, if it's my child, should I just give him the opportunity to, just pay for his university education? So he will actually spend the time making this decision, because it's an important decision. It's not a cheap decision. And then he'll actually choose something that he's like. And then even if he fails, he can choose to do so, because as long as he can manage whatever that he has spent on it, he's okay. I mean, it's okay. It's okay to just like give up on the course, something like that.
Yeah, true. And sometimes giving up is not that easy,
I mean, giving up, yeah, we as Asian, or even just Malaysians, giving up is not a socially accepted thing. People never say that, you can give up. But I don't know, sometimes, actually, it's quite true that sometimes you really know what you really want. And if you have something that you're doing that you obviously know that it's a lot better, it's better to give up.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's not that you die, just that you go on a different path, but perhaps you can really do better in that different path. Yeah, so that's what I think. I don't know. I mean, I never really gave up on such a huge thing. So even if I, by just the thought of thinking of it, I feel like it's quite a sad thing when people give up on something. It feels like you have lost something. But I don't think that's necessarily the thing. I think sometimes it's necessary. You just you in order to pursue some larger goals and all that, you probably have to do that. Sacrifice has to be made. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's no right or wrong in this, as long as you have think through it rationally.
Yeah.
Okay, coming back
so
to...
would you actually
Yes?
would you actually let your children pay for their own tuition fee, in your own perspective?
I think I'll still consider where are we living during that time. Okay, let's say in Malaysia, and let's say I'm in Malaysia. We are in Malaysia, and my children wants to go overseas for study. Of course, it's hard for them to support themselves, right? Yeah, with our currency and everything.
But if they the thing is that, are you underestimating them? If they the thing is, if you actually pay them, do you think that they will have that responsibility? I mean, okay, I would say that schools around the world, like even on ranking wise, of course they definitely differ in quality, but is it really that important if they really just like that particular course? And I mean, even the money thing, yeah, they do need some money, but like I believe that they can somehow get it if that thing is important enough to them, isn't it?
Okay. This is actually very, very hard to decide.
Cause I guess I'll just share my personal idea. Cause I do think that if they do find it important enough, they'll just find a way to get to that thing. And then another thing is that there is really no, I would rather let them spend like 10 years to figure out what they actually want to study instead of just ask them to go ahead and study straight out of high school. Because yeah, I just want them to do what they want, and then by having no time limit, I would by giving them like no time limit on when they should actually start the university study. I'm pretty sure they can find their own way to save out some money and all that, and actually eventually finding out where they want to study. And if they really, I don't know, maybe they want to study a very, very expensive school and they actually ran out of option, that they really can't find an option to fund themselves, I would pay them, but as I mean in the form of a loan, because I just want them to have that responsibility. They can just do it the way they want, but the thing is, yeah, they can just do it the way they want, but then if they choose some other ways, they just have to pay off the debt. Because I mean, I don't want them to get tied up to this thing where like my dad paid for it. That's why I kind of need to fulfill my dad's wish. I just make it their own wish. You want to do it? Yeah. But do remember that you have this responsibility of paying back as well, because that your responsibility isn't to finish studying because I pay this, but your responsibility is now to just pay back this loan. So it's okay if you don't want to continue to study. You just have to figure out the way to pay back this loan. Yeah. That's what I think.
Okay, I have two questions. The first one is that what if they already know what they want to do, they firmly know what they want to do, but then the only thing that they don't have is money that time. And then the amount of money they require is quite a big amount.
Yeah, I mean, like, actually the money which I'm speaking here, it's not limited to just studying. If they want to start a business or whatever, definitely. But depending on what they're doing, of course, some I might do it as a form of a loan, or even they want to do a startup. I do it as a sort of funding where I get some share capital from their company. Yep. Because the one thing that I kind of learned this year is that those are the most productive years in our lifetime. So this amount of money can easily bring them from 0 to 1. Instead of like when I give them like this amount of money when they're 40, it probably won't bring any improvement to them. So I would definitely fund them like this. I have this money always there. It's just whether they need it from me. So whether they want to start a business, they want to study, they want to do something, anything, as long as it's a good enough proposal, I would. Yeah, I mean, it's not really as long as it's a good enough proposal. I mean, there's a minimum amount that definitely I'll loan out to them. So if it's a terrible proposal, it'll just be a loan. If it's a good enough proposal, it can be a form of investment where I don't really need fixed repayment. Like I'll just pay it, and then it'll just be a legally binding contract where I buy up some share capital or something like that.
Okay.
If you understand what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the contract idea is quite interesting. Okay, my second question is okay, from your perspective, do you think myself during my degree time, do you think I'm being irresponsible?
Irresponsible.
Towards my own study.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't think so. I think if it's, I think I'm definitely a more irresponsible if we were to compare. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but then.
Okay. So
Yeah, nothing.
the question that I have is so you're saying that there won't be exception even if, let's say, your children is like me. I know what I'm doing and I enjoy every single bit of it. You still uh pay the tuition fee as a loan type, is it?
Yeah. I mean, what I see from you, I don't expect my child to be like you. Because I still have to put this term again.
Okay.
You have a societal built
Yeah.
personality where you have this fixed mindset whereby you have to attend every single classes. You have to kind of just basically everything you are kind of you are follow the rules. You have this mindset whereby you just have to follow the rules. I don't believe my child would have this mindset. I will let them do anything they want because as long as they can find a reason for it, they should just do it. So yeah, I don't see them being somebody just like you.
Okay.
And the reason why I would make it as a form of loan is because yeah, I mean, like, whatever you want to do, just do it. I wouldn't pay the whole thing for you. I think if I have a child coming to me like with your wanting to do whatever you have done, that is the exact reason why I would give them a loan, because that's just too boring. It's nowhere interesting. I don't think I don't think that's the best way of spending their life. I think that's just too average. So I think that's why it's worth a loan. Yeah.
Okay.
I would rather them doing something a lot more interesting. Then I would potentially invest in it.
Okay.
Basically, how I would say that, looking as a business perspective, I would I would earn more I will earn more money by by investing it in a form of a loan, so I'll get constant return, as compared to investing and then expect you to, I don't know, like, if like okay, example like this. So if I have two child, one is doing something crazy, one is doing something average like you. If I were to choose to, let's say that, okay, in 5 years time I would be taking 10% of your yearly salary. The average one, the amount that I can get from the average one is definitely, I would say that it's definitely is similar or less than the
Crazy one.
the interest that I get from the loan. But from the crazy child, the 10% from his or her annual income, with that, I believe it's definitely more than whatever I can get from all the interest that I can get from the loan. That's why basically
Okay.
that is what I'll do. Yeah. I will only, I don't know, I feel like it's a bit bad. Like people might see that this is a bit cold-hearted and all this, like, you know, treating your child something like this. But then, I mean, yeah, I just want to put more responsibility in them, like just letting them choose that, you know, you don't like it, just do whatever you want. That's why I give you this thing where you are just you are just liable for the money, but nothing else. Yeah, no emotions involved and all this. I wouldn't be upset. I would just know that, okay, this is a terrible investment, and you know, if I really can't get back the money, I probably won't invest in you again. You know, you're blacklisted in my loan list. I wouldn't loan you again, you know, something like that. I just yeah, I don't want them to just pursue what they think I want. Yeah. I feel like some things, because I just want them to do what they actually want. So if making this thing a legally binding contract would make them do whatever they want, I think I would definitely do it. Yeah. I feel like it gives them more freedom, something like this. Yeah.
Mm, mm. But okay, just something extra. Okay, do you think this will make them even more stressful during their time? Because yeah, they have to constantly think that my father invests in me, and I don't
I
want
mean,
to.
no,
I don't want myself to be a bad investment.
I mean, the thing is, it depends on what they do, because
Mm-mm.
that's why I would only invest if it's a really good idea that they really like.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
If they're just studying a normal degree, I'll just give them a loan, because like I'm not gonna invest in you. Like, it's average. Yeah, it's just average. I mean, like, yeah, like I don't think there's much outcome from that. I have to be honest. If you're actually starting a company, yeah, I mean, of course, I wouldn't. The reason I wouldn't want them to think like, okay, I will upset my father, but I would want them to think I will upset an investor, because that is exact what they should think as someone that put in their money. Yeah. But
Mm-mm.
loan wise, I'm like, yeah, I mean, like, of course you can definitely default my loan, but then you gotta expect that if you default this loan, then yeah, I wouldn't loan you any more money, something like that. Not that
Mm-mm.
I wouldn't see you, I wouldn't recognize you as my child, but then definitely I wouldn't loan you anymore. I just wanna, this is just something I want to make them to do more stuff.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I think I quite like your idea of like giving it as a loan or kind of an
Mm-hmm.
investment into the child. Okay, for
Mm-hmm.
me myself, I think I still don't really know if, let's say, my children don't know what they want to do. How would I do, like, what would I do for them yet? But if, let's say, they really know what they want to do, like they surely know that this is what they want already, and if, let's say, they can't afford everything themselves, that's the best one. Yeah. But if, let's say, they couldn't, maybe I'll uh pay for their tuition fee, but they have to earn the rest themselves, like the living fee and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the
Mm.
idea that I have for now. I don't know, let's say in 10 or 20 years, what would I think? Okay, definitely not 10, I mean 30 years.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Mm. Okay. Is that all?
I don't know. I mean, yeah. I don't really buy your idea, but then, like, I guess that's your perspective. I mean, uh, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of surprised. I'm quite surprised that you would just like give them, you still pay for the education and all that, because I don't know. I thought we pretty much agree that, like, if you pay for them, they wouldn't actually, they wouldn't appreciate this thing, because you pay for it. They don't have that much responsibility. You are you're kind of giving them a way out. It's not even, they don't have the option to just do whatever they want. I don't know. I mean that's my thing. So I just don't really buy that. I feel like that's, yeah, it's a bit upsetting coming from your point of view. I don't know, but yeah, I guess that's it from us. I mean, yeah.
um, well, I think you don't really know what's my point actually is. Okay, so I was saying, um, if they already know what they want to do and that's what they really want, then only I will pay. if let's say they cannot afford it. But of course, I won't tell them upfront that I definitely will pay for them. But if let's say they don't know what they want to do, of course I won't force them to do a course that they don't want to. I'll just leave them like this until they find something they want. And if let's say they need help, then yeah. If no, then just like this.
But the thing is, you said that you wouldn't tell them up front that you will pay for them, even if they know what they want. So what do you mean by that?
I mean, if in our society, we pretty much expect our parents to pay everything for us, right?
Quite like that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I was saying that I won't tell them like okay, I will pay for you, just choose something that you want to do.
No, but then from what I heard is that you said that you will pay for their studies if they choose something that they want to study. They really want to study, but then you won't tell them that you will pay the whole thing for them. That's what I understood.
Okay, I'll discuss with them and see how they can. I want to see how what was their thoughts on the study and everything, including the financial part. From there, I will know what they are thinking about and what's the help that they need. If let's say it's just the money thing and they already know what they want to do and everything is what they really want to do, then okay, then at that point I'll tell them, okay, I'll pay for your tuition fee, but the rest you have to earn it yourself.
So you will tell them that you are actually paying for the whole thing.
Yes, if I confirm that is what they want.
What if they figure out halfway that it's not something they want?
Okay, they can approach me and tell me and discuss with me that it's not what they want.
Because it's the exact problem that I face right now. Like, I mean, I spent 2 years studying, and then I just realized that this is not something that I want. That's why I do it as a form of loan. Like, you want to drop out, you don't want to study anymore. Just go ahead, forfeit whatever that you have paid for. It's fine. Just do it, because I don't want you to have the pressure of me, because I've already paid you 2 years. That's why you have to continue study the whole thing. I'm not gonna do that, because it's your money. I just paid you the money to do it, and it's your decision how to spend the money. Because I find like if you do it that way, it's just like whatever that we have right now. Every kid is gonna tell you that I want to study that, but then like halfway through that thing, they're just I have a change of mind. But then like parents paid for it, something like that. I feel like that's not much different from what we have today.
Okay, true.
I mean, it's better in a way that you wouldn't fund them if it's not really something that they like. But then I don't know. I mean, you change a few times. You change your mind a few times. So that's because of your parents. But then still, you change your minds a few times on what you want to study. And then I did as well. And I don't know. I mean, because I don't think the way your way would work, because you are still the person paying. You are the mother paying. What I'm doing is I'm paying the money, and then you pay me back the money.
Mm-hmm.
It's not unconditional. I'm still waiting for that money to be back. But you want to do anyway, whatever you can just find any way to pay back the money. But then yours is like yeah, sure, okay, you like this course, I will pay the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then I guess so far the loan idea is the best way.
All right, okay. So you don't have another way of your own right now?
Yeah. Yeah, I can't think of anything else right now.
All right, okay. All right, anything else you want to add on?
I think that's all from me.
All right, okay. I guess then that'll be it for this episode of the podcast then. Yeah, thanks everyone for listening, and hope to see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the podcast. If you enjoyed, do share with your friends and family and leave us a review on the Apple Podcast. If you're not using an Apple device, you can leave a review on the Apple Podcast website with the link in the show notes. If you have any feedback or thoughts which you hope that we'll discuss in the future, feel free to email them to us at hello@incthoughts.com, or alternatively, you can send us a private message on our Facebook, Instagram or Twitter with the username of incthoughtspod. Thanks again, and see you all next week. Bye bye.